Hello and welcome back to the RattleMind podcast. I'm Rye, and join me is my co-host.
Oh.
That works.
I didn't mean to ruin the epic intro. Because you sometimes stop at is. So
Yes.
it's like, and then you're like, my co-host.
All right. Well,
Panchy. I'm Panchy.
yes, it's Panchy. She's back.
Panchy.
We missed her.
Aw, missed you too.
All right.
I'm more of a quality over quantity person, so I was not quality for recording this week in general.
Well, I actually have a plan for this episode.
Oh.
I have a series of questions.
I'm excited.
All right. Let's start with question number 1.
Okay.
A truck is barreling down at you. There is no way for you to escape. What are you thinking about?
How much time do I have?
Oh, it's like a matter of seconds. Whatever you're thinking.
I'm worried that it's gonna hurt a lot before I die. I have a very low pain tolerance, okay? I don't have time to think about anything else.
Okay, here's my answer to that question. And literally, this was the first thing that popped into my head when I heard that question, because it was on like an Instagram reel or whatever. So my first thought was, I hope I get isekai'd into a magic world.
Okay, that's much better.
I must be a weeb.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's a much better answer, so.
Yes. But with the whole truck thing, I have a story from, I was watching an Instagram reel, of course. For some reason, I only watch Instagram reels. I don't even watch shorts on YouTube or any of that. But this company that makes car wraps, puts images on cars and stuff. Well, they had bought a new truck, and because they were going to take their little shop over to an anime convention so that they could show off that they could do anime wraps around cars.
Okay.
Well, the owner said, should we put a name on the truck? And what should we call it? Because we're going to put a wrap on the truck since we got it. And the employees are like, that whole meme of putting their hand on their chin and smiling. We'll name it Truck-kun.
Truck-kun?
Yep. And then the owner's walking away and he's like, Truck-kun. Oh, wait. No! Truck-kun, no! Because in isekais, the trope is that you get killed by a truck and sent to another world.
Okay.
So, Truck-kun, no! And they're going to an anime convention.
Sounds like an anime I need to watch.
All right. Question number 2. You have one clone of yourself. What do you and your clone do?
Jeez. That's that's a good one. I don't know. You go first.
Weirdly enough, when this entire idea of, cloning came to be, with Dolly the sheep, and I guess the movie Multiplicity, I had discussion with my friends at the time, and they're like, what would you do if you met yourself? I would have a battle to the death. No, I wouldn't actually do a battle to the death, but it would be a thing. You'd fight yourself just to see if you could actually beat yourself up.
I mean, wouldn't you just be too evenly matched to them?
Exactly. That's the whole problem with, you're fighting yourself. You're going to know exactly what you're going to do. But another thing is, if I had a clone, the whole multiplicity problem comes up with, you got a clone, so are you going to share time of what you do, or are you going to just switch between, tasks, or are you going to just stick to one task each person, or what?
Well, you're too similar. So like if you like do like one task per person, there better be an exact amount of tasks that like you can split in half that you do like and don't that you can divvy up, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Um I guess like it'd be better for me anyway to take turns.
I think Farscape actually had the correct answer with what a clone is.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Because Crichton got cloned, and he was the only one that his clone actually survived.
Right.
The thing is that from the moment after the clone is conscious, it's no longer a clone.
Ooh,
It
yeah.
is a separate
That
person.
makes so much sense. Yeah.
So literally, you are being twinned, not cloned.
Yeah, because like as soon as that clone exists, you're not going to experience everything the same from that point out. You only have experienced everything the same up to that point.
Right.
So you will grow different, but in that very moment, you're not going to be like different at all.
So yeah, I think Farscape had it right.
I think so too. That was pretty cool. They got me on that good too. Like because it was a pretty big reveal.
Yep. Was that actually at a season cliffhanger? I don't remember.
Uh, I don't know.
I'll have to rewatch it.
I'd love to rewatch
I have the
and all its
entire
corny
series.
glory.
Yeah, I have the entire series plus the movie on DVD.
Nice, nice.
Yep. All right. Now I gotta think of another question. Actually, can you think of a question?
Oh gosh, no. I I need to prepare for stuff like that.
Oh.
Uh,
The funny thing is I looked up, thought provoking questions to make you think about things. You know what they were?
what?
They were the stupid date questions. You're going on a date. What are you trying to do so you can get to know a person? So, what do you like doing? It's like, that is not a thought provoking question.
What are your
Exactly,
hobbies?
that's the other thing. Yeah. It's like, these are not
Those are
thought
just
provoking.
get to know each other
Yeah.
questions.
It's like, I want to,
I think that now that I've put a little thought into it, I think my clone and I would like play Minecraft together and see what we could build. Like specifically this server too, the Cinder RPG I told you about
yep.
and showed you a little bit of. That would be so cool to see
That would be fun.
what we can do in a game together.
Oh. I only had those two questions, really, or three questions.
Oh,
I didn't really have much. Because, like I said,
wow.
all that came up for these little thought provoking questions were date questions. I'm trying to get to know this person. What do I ask them? And
The
then most.
first. Oh,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. The first thing that pops in my mind when you were like, do you know any questions? Um, like the most generic ones, non-date wise, I guess you could use it in a date, but like it's usually like what superpower would you have and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
a good one.
forget who it was, but we were talking about how, or maybe it was a video I was watching. I don't freaking know. But they were talking about how it's interesting when you're younger, you don't answer like usually your answers are something cool, flying or shooting laser beams from my eyes or
Yeah.
something like that. But like when you get older, like your answer usually becomes teleportation so I can get to work really fast or like like kind of boring ones, but ones that sound so exciting to me in my old age.
See, All right, I will answer the question about superpowers. I actually have two. The one I used to usually go with, was that I would like a power or ability to bend matter and its opposite to my will. Meaning that I could create any object that exists or doesn't exist because I could will it to exist.
Interesting. That makes so much sense. Matter is the makeup of everything.
Yep.
It's the makeup of existence. So,
And then I thought, you know what? I could just make this easier. I wish to be able to manifest a box containing any item that I can think of. And the box's size grows to fit the item. I,
okay.
so basically, what I could do is go out to a field and manifest a box containing the Starship Enterprise.
Oh, sick. Then you need a Starship Enterprise for Dummies book after you're done with that.
Exactly. It's like, here is the operating manual in this box.
Dude, this is like the coolest thing ever. Can you drive it? No.
No, this button here, I don't know what it does. It's a button. It lights up
It's
when I
one of
push it.
6 trillion buttons.
I got a switch over here. I don't know what this switch does.
Can you manifest Captain? I almost said Captain Spock. Captain.
Well, technically,
Oh shit.
Spock was a captain.
Okay. I'm
wasn't a
not
time-
super familiar
Yeah.
with Star Trek stuff, but just manifest one of the people from the crew or the whole crew, and can you
Yeah.
do living matter in
I
the
would
box?
assume
Like, would
that it would be best to not do that.
Fair enough.
I think that would be my only stipulation to the power.
Well, then one of the things that I would want would be something you wouldn't be able to do, which is transfiguration. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. But see, now we're getting into like object oriented versus, I can blow stuff up with my mind.
Nah, I don't want to be destructive. I just
Exactly.
want to. Yeah, it's like I like the quality of living.
Yeah. It's like one of the objects I have determined that I would make no matter what if I had that power was an object that could literally scan and blueprint any object I create through this box mat thing.
That's smart.
That way, I could always go to Elon Musk or something and say, hey, you want to go to space? Guess what I got for you?
Yeah. Just for the small price of $1 billion.
Technically, money would be irrelevant if I had that power.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I could just manifest whatever I wanted.
Cash.
Yeah, well, cash is kind of different because you have to have serial numbers and stuff. But
Magic
like
knows
said,
what it's doing.
Yeah. But like you said, I could always sell any of these objects and,
Yep.
I got the money.
That too.
Let's see. So we've done the superpower question. What else is there?
See, you've already found it on some website, didn't you?
No, I haven't actually opened a browser.
Oh man.
Weird questions to ask your best friend. What age would you prefer to stay in forever?
Oh. 28.
That's not a bad thing.
It's young, but it's also like respectably young. Like people think you're like on the cusp of true adulthood, You're past the age that everyone says your brain like stops developing, which is like what, 26 or something like that, and much, much, much fewer physical ailments and a lot of energy. Yeah, 28, 100%.
You know what? I'd have to agree. 28's not bad. My only issue with 28 is I already had a knee issue, so I'm always going to have that knee
So,
issue. But let's see, what else is there? No, that's a stupid question.
there's no such thing.
Yes, there is when you're trying to actually be interesting. Uh, okay, that is a weird question. Let's go for it. If you
Okay.
were turned into a food, what food would you turn into?
Ooh, my God, what? Um, Something really unhealthy. Probably uh a chocolate chip muffin. I don't know.
Yeah,
I like that question though. What about you?
that is a weird question. Finding out I'm allergic to so many things. If I turned into a food, I'd probably kill myself because of the food allergy.
Right.
Ah,
Oh, I hate vegetables, and everybody knows you are what you eat. So like I eat sweets and carbs and starches and
yeah.
red meats. Oh, yep.
Let's see what else is
Can I pick a cow?
there. Yeah, I want to be
That
a
way I can
cow.
still be a living creature and a food at the same time. And a cow in India.
Yeah, there you go. All right, how's yeah? That's these aren't weird enough questions, except for the turning into food. That was a weird enough question. Most of these are just generic questions.
Hmm.
Uh,
I'll try. Yeah, let me join you in this search.
why would I ask someone how many times a week do they poop? I'm not a doctor. I don't need to know this information. I mean, the only thing that this information tells me is at least your bowels are healthy. That doesn't really mean anything to me.
Well, that question is kind of relevant in Cards Against Humanity because the way we play when we're in person is that whoever pooped most recently reads first, reads the black card first. So that has come up in casual conversation with us before. Not gonna lie.
The first teacher was the student of who? That's a chicken and egg question.
Oh, there's no real answer to that?
Well, when you think about it, the first teacher, who taught them to do
Aristotle?
something? No,
Plato? One of the philosophers?
no, philosophers don't count because they actually were taught some. So technically, the very first teacher is someone who discovered how to do something on their own and then taught someone else.
True.
That is the only way the very first teacher would never be a student, can't be a student of someone else, but it would be so specific to only one thing.
Yeah, I mean, and if you count like, parents teaching their children like how to walk,
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking the beginning of human existence.
yeah, that's how far it has to
Not
go.
just human. It's the beginning of existence. uh, Even the smallest microorganisms like teach each other where the food is,
Mm-hmm.
and you know
Yeah,
I just
the first teacher doesn't
that's
even have to be human.
right, exactly.
Uh, so many questions that are just not worth it. How weird are you on a scale of 1 to 10? I would like to say that I'm a 7.63.
Oh, that's specific.
Yes, but it's weird
Right?
because I actually put the 0.63.
You are um whole podcast about how weird you are weird.
True. And I didn't even touch on all of it, so.
Right.
Oh. Okay, here's a question that's just one of those that you just like, what really questions? So, if you have to wait for a waiter, does that make you the waiter?
Oh, snap. I mean, obviously not. That's so like that's such a mean way to look at it.
If a deaf person has a court date, will it still be called a hearing?
I like that.
Do, 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 do. A lot of these questions are just, they don't interest me enough to ask. If life is unfair to everyone, does that mean life is fair?
Oh,
I mean,
that's
technically, yeah.
amazing. Yeah, that's exactly what that means. It's kind of a paradox, though.
Yeah. Well, see, there's one, I don't know, it was either a movie or TV show, is that you should never want life to be fair. Because if life were fair, everything that happens to you would always be because of you.
Huh. Then you have to actually own what you do.
Yeah,
Is that
pretty
what
much.
it's saying?
You'd have to own what you do, and if you ever do something to someone else, it's because they deserved it.
Hmm. Oh, so basically it's saying like anyone can do whatever they want and be like, I mean, it's fair because that's life. Life is fair.
Yeah, but like I said, if you do something bad to someone else, technically you could have bad stuff happen back to you because you caused a bad thing.
Right.
But the other thing is, what if that person actually was deserving of the bad thing that happened to them? But because you did a bad thing to them, you now are deserving of a bad thing.
This is this is why karma is a thing. We just let karma handle it. She's good at her
Exactly.
job.
Okay.
Humans
Let's.
are too flawed for all that responsibility.
Yes. All right. This is a good question. If the devil punishes only bad people, why is he the bad guy?
Hmm. I mean, I do love the whole like sympathy for the devil uh
I mean, that question.
sentiment.
Yeah. The question technically
Uh
does have a point, though.
I mean, a lot of people just look at the devil as someone who was a rebellious kid and got punished harshly for it, you know.
Yeah,
One of my favorite shows is Lucifer because it like really plays on that,
yeah.
and I think it's really freaking cool.
Lucifer Morningstar.
Right. What is it you truly desire? But oh, what was I gonna say? Hmm. Well, that thought's gone.
That is okay. Question
Sympathy for the devil,
70 on
devil's
this.
advocate. I love like playing devil's
Yeah.
advocate for the devil, you know?
All right, here's another question that's weird but interesting enough in its own right. If the multiverse theory is true, then could there be another universe when our consciousness is in someone else's body?
Well, it wouldn't be someone else's if our consciousness was in it then,
Right.
right?
Because when you think about it, if the multiverse, on this premise, technically somewhere in the multiverse, there is a version of me, as I'm a guy, who was born biologically female.
Right.
Because that has to exist somewhere.
Yeah, but that's not your consciousness. That's someone else's consciousness.
Well, yes and no, because part of the most multiversal theory is that every time you make a decision, you're creating a new universe. So
Oh.
it is technically you. It's just split off into different universes. That's why there's always an infinite amount of alternate universes.
But for you to be born a woman, though, that has nothing to do with a choice you made.
No, but that would be a issue that could arise because my mom or dad made a different choice. But because
Hmm.
there, this could also fall into the whole NPC theory somewhat. But because there's a limited amount of ethereal souls, my soul for that universe ended up as a female soul.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it just somewhere out there it could be.
That's so trippy.
Exactly. That's why you don't want to overthink multiversal theory. Though I do like
How
the
else?
I like the hypothesis that dreams are just you viewing another version of you from a different universe.
Hmm, that is an interesting thought.
Which apparently in one of them I'm a Batman, so there we go. All right, but I ran to the last question of that website that I found. Did you manage to find anything?
I did find a website, but they're not as good. Question. They're like they're they're definitely conversational and not too date related, but they're kind of boring too. If your pet could talk, what would their voice sound like? What would they say about you? You know,
Yeah,
it
those
is weirdly hard to find.
yeah, those are interesting, but I don't think that you could actually get a real answer. Because
You mean like a multiple universe question?
yeah, that's not you'll never get to a real answer with that question. But what would your pet sound like if they could speak? Would be just weird. But there's no real.
Ooh, would you rather questions?
Okay, hey, that would work.
Would you rather, well, would you rather the aliens that make first contact be robotic or organic?
Mm. I would prefer organic because at least
Same.
there's flaws that can, get them to understand our own flaws.
Right, it would be more relatable, whereas we don't know how far like emotionally progressed the robotic ones would
Exactly.
be.
The other problem is that what type of robot would it be? Would it actually be a, communicative robot with a, like chat GPT type of thing? Or would it be, here is screen, we show you stuff. Now try and figure out
Right.
what we show you. Which is probably what we should encounter first is a basic picture type of thing and you try and interpret. Because that's what we sent out.
That was in a movie. That was in a sci-fi movie with the aliens that looked like squids and communicated with ink that formed shapes.
That was I watched that. Oh, I can't remember it.
Ah,
That was a time paradox in itself though.
that was a good movie though. I really like that
Arrival.
movie.
That it? I think that's it.
Sure. It, it sounds like a good title for it.
But yeah,
But yeah, that's how they did it. That's how they taught each other.
yep.
They like had a drawing board and she would like kind of what's it called? Um not Pictionary. What's the other game people play?
Charades.
Charades. She charades did it out. Uh,
All right, you got another
um
one?
yeah. I like this one. Would you rather know the history of every object you touched or be able to talk to animals? Kind of going to our um superpower question a little bit, but
Yeah,
this one's tough for me.
that is tough. Though people are weird, I don't think I want to touch something that looks
Don't
like a
want to see
certain
something you don't
yeah.
want to see.
It's like
But like, what
something
if you could like control it? Like, it wasn't
yeah, if I could control it and actually, like force the vision of what the object has gone through, that would be a different story.
right,
Because
right,
I
right.
wouldn't want to end up, rummaging through grandma's secret chest and touching something, and then all of a sudden, whoa! I did not need to see grandma doing that.
I'm never touching these sheets again.
Exactly.
Anywho, time to go scrub my eyes with soap and bleach. Yay!
Oh, but we're at
Um,
33 minutes. Did you want to do one more question?
I was actually gonna say that it would be really cool, like, because I didn't really like pick one,
Oh yeah,
but
you're right.
uh, man, ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to talk to animals. Like, I thought it'd be just the coolest thing ever.
Yeah,
But at the same time, it's like if you live with animals, how annoying would that get?
exactly. I
But
mean,
I mean, it's kind of best to be able to communicate, you know? We
yeah,
can improve quality of life both ways if, you know, we could.
the whole Doctor Doolittle thing.
Yeah.
He figured out what was
Uh,
wrong with the animals by talking to him.
Good old Eddie Murphy. I wonder what he's been up to.
I don't know. I actually think of the original Doctor Doolittle, so that's what I think
Oh,
of
yeah,
first.
I never saw that all the way through.
I did, but it was so long ago that I don't actually remember it. I remember what the movie looked like while playing, because I know that it was more of a Victorian esque type of setting,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I don't actually remember the movie itself.
Hmm.
I remember a scene where he was putting glasses on a horse, and that was about it.
Sounds legit.
All right,
Oh, I remember that in the Eddie Murphy version too, because the
yeah.
horse complained about not being able to see, so he fashioned some glasses. That I remember that.
I think we should call it here.
Yeah.
All right. So, I got to push a button before I start the outro. Otherwise, it won't make sense. All right. Thank you all for watching. Remember to follow, like, comment, subscribe on whatever you're watching this on. Anything you'd like to say before we go?
If anyone's listening, like, has an answer to any of these questions, please let us know what you would say to like superpowers or would you rathers that we talked about, just let us know what you would say. What would you do? And other than that, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you all. Later.
Bye.